At the beginning of the story, we are told the time. July 2007 and a bus is shown in which our main character opens his eyes and says, "Where am I? Isn't this the bus I took that summer vacation from Sishui country to Chuzhou my senior year? But why I am here? Wasn't I enduring the divine retribution? But I came back." After this, we are told the name of our main character and something about his past life. I Chen Fan, am the immortal sovereign of Bixuan, also called Chen Bishuan. I am the direct disciple of the immortal master of apex martial arts, the immortal of Kangqing. I was taken away from the earth at the age of 30 and embarked on the road of immortal cultivation with great attitude. I reached the retribution enduring stage after only 500 years of cultivation. I was known as a peerless genius, who was most likely to successfully detach from the universe and ascend to the celestial realm. I combated all the tribes of the universe and won every battle. I was thus honored as the immortal sovereign of Bixuan. Unfortunately, I fell during the divine retribution. It was because I had cultivated too fast to establish a sound foundation. My Tao heart could not given up everything for my cultivation for the past 500 years, leaving behind countless regrets. All those regrets burst out when the tribulation of the inner demon came, leaving me nowhere to hide. I have returned as a teenager to the earth. This is not the tribulation of the inner demon. I am really back. Now I've lost all my supernatural power, primordial spirit, and Tao heart. I've even lost my magic drawers and weapons. I am now just an ordinary mortal who can be easily killed by a bullet. It's not so bad. In this life, I will steadfastly cultivate every stage to its best and establish a supreme Tao foundation. Blood for blood. Leave no regret. We're arriving at Chuzhou. How long has it been since I left this city? My cell phone? It's Mom. Hello, Chen Fan? Your Aunt Tang is probably waiting for you outside the station. You must work hard in Chuzhou, okay? I haven't heard her voice since she died in my last life. Don't worry, Mom. Take care of yourself in Zhonghao, all right. I have something else to do. Goodbye then. My mom, I am really back to being 17 years old. He was bound to go through the mortal world again. So this if I have nothing to fear. We are then shown Auntie Tang's side, where the girl is taking Mom. When will he arrive? How about giving him a call and hurrying him up? What an impatient girl. It's been 10 minutes. I'd better get in the car. It's cooler in there. Then our hero's voice comes. Aunt Tang, sorry for keeping you waiting. After this, we are shown a scene inside the car where the girl is thinking. Chen Fan means friend, and just like his name, I only see him as a friend. He is no match for Liachen and his friends. Then Aunt Tang speaks. Xiao Fan, Ran is going to be a senior too. You should look after her at school. After this, Chan Fen speaks. She's as good as my sister now, Aunt Tang. Don't worry, I'll protect her. There was a girl I once loved, was hurt by, then gradually forgot. Her name was Jiang Chiran. Ran, come to me if you need any help. Then Rainran says, Good, don't forget your word when I ask you. Ran thinks to herself, my father is an important government official and my mother owns a company worth $10 million. Why would I need your help? Auntie Tang speaking. We'll go to your apartment first to drop off your luggage, and then we'll go to my house for lunch. This lakeside community is near the Yangui Lake. It boasts very beautiful scenery, and it's very close to the Ivy High School. Takes only 10 minutes walk. There are 3 bedrooms and 1 sitting room in this apartment. Aren't the decorations so tasteful? Just live there comfortably and study hard. Don't worry about the rent. You are so good to me. Thank you for your trouble, Aunt Tang. Your mother trusted you with me, so I'll look after you like my own son. Ran thinking. They get along so well. Then Auntie Tang speaking, let us go to my house to have lunch. Longjing Villa, here we are. Apart from the Yangui Lake, the most famous place in Chuzhou is the Yunwu Mountain. Our neighborhood isn't the best in Chuzhou. The real high-grade luxury houses are all on the hillside of the Yunwu Mountain. It's said that every morning the houses are wreathed with clouds and mist, like seas and mountains of clouds. But I think my house is good enough. Yunwu Mountain Villa is gorgeous, but I don't seriously dream about living there. Then Chen Fan says, if you really like it, I will buy you a few when I make money in the future. Then you can see the seas of clouds every morning as soon as you get up. Auntie Tang speaking, what great. I am looking forward to it. I take your mother there too, and we'll spend our late years together. Ron speaking, and we can go shopping and take beauty treatments together. We are then shown Aunt Tang husband speaking what is so funny. I heard you laughing through the closed door. Then Chen Fan speaking, hello, Uncle Jiang. And Auntie Tang says, Chen Fan, have a seat. I am going to the kitchen to get some food. It be quick. After this, everyone is shown at the dining table where Uncle is thinking I just chatted briefly with Chen Fan. He is an idiot with poor academic performance. He is just a loser. He isn't tea good enough for Liachen. Then Chen Fan speaking, haven't tea eaten a homemade dish in ages. It is so good, not to mention it was made by Aunt Tang herself. It was made by Aunt Tang herself. He is thinking Aunt Tang is innocent, elegant, kind-hearted, and beautiful. She even is excellent at cooking. Unfortunately, she married Zhang Shanhai, a power seeker. Then Auntie Tang says, Chen Fan, you just arrived at Chuzhou, let Ran show you around, and you can buy something. Chen Fan, okay, Auntie Tang. After this, both of them come out of the house. Then Ran speaking, I have something else to do. You go by yourself. He better not ask me for company, or you can take a taxi. You don't need my company, do you? Chen Fan speaking, all right. See you. Chen Fan while walking on the road. He thinks the place I am going, Lake, has the richest spirit energy around here. And sitting under a tree, he says I need to hurry up and begin to establish a foundation. There are 8 stages of cultivation, including QI condensation, Xiantian, core formation, nascent soul, spirit severing, void returning, Tao fusion, and retribution enduring. Though QI condensation is just the beginning stage, it has 3 small stages: foundation establishment, profound opening, and spirit sea. The foundation establishment stage is the very first stage of cultivation, after which cultivators can lift hundreds of pounds, run as fast as a horse, break through the limits of their bodies, condense true essence inside, draw talismans, and become capable of some magic. So which way should I use to establish my foundation? I collected myriads of secret arts over the past 500 years. I collected 3726 ways of establishing foundations alone. Apart from my regrets, another major reason I fell during the divine retribution was that my foundation was not stable enough. Although the foundation establishment stage is the very first stage for cultivators, it doesn't seem very important. Yet only with a firm foundation can a skyscraper be built. The great way of Tao void body refining arts. I go with this. This specific art puts emphasis on inclusiveness and absorptive captivity. Now that I practice cultivation on the earth where spirit energy is nearly exhausted, I must rely on various medicinal materials, treasures, and even evil and yin energy to facilitate my cultivation. Close. The void body refining art is really the #1 foundation establishment way in the world. I directly entered the initial stage of foundation establishment the first time I cultivated it. Luckily, this place is out of the way and free of disturbance. I cultivated for a whole night. Good, I am full of power. After this, I punch the tree standing behind me. This power is completely physical, awesome.
Oh wow, I'm hungry. I have to remember I'm still immortal and need to eat. After this, he starts leaving from there, then 3 people arrive there. Chen Fan says, what do you want? First chapter is complete, and thanks for watching.
At the beginning of the second chapter, we are shown a scene. Old uncle says probably just a running young man happened to pass by. But the Chen Fan looks at them and think no, her true essence is too weak, and the condensation is too loose. It is thousands of times weaker than a real cultivator. After that, he is with them. The boy looks at the girl. There is trace of true essence inside her body. She is an immortal cultivator. She has the inner force. Its quality is inferior to a cultivator's true essence power. Then the girl says, hey, what are you looking at? Why did you shake your head? Then the Chen Fan speaks, I shook my head because of something else. Sorry. Then suddenly the boy accompanying him comes and stands in front of the Chen Fan and says, wait a moment, young man. Then Chen Fan speaking, why, old man? Old uncle says, obviously you shook your head after seeing my granddaughter. Could you tell me the reason? Chen Fan says, I told you it had nothing to do with her. But the old uncle says, judging from the way you walk, I suppose you study the martial arts. I am Wei Fu. May I ask where you come from and who your teacher is? Friends, Wei Fu is a old uncle name, okay. Chen Fan says, I am scarcely a Tao cultivator, if you must ask Wei Fu. I am not a student of the martial art. Old uncle thinking a Tao cultivator? The Tao sect. Then girl says, so you just lied to me. Then Chen Fan starts laughing there and says, I am just a Tao cultivator and know a bit of QI condensation techniques. That all. Brandishing spears and sticks or fighting and killing are really not my specialty. You mistaken. But Chen Fan speaking, I don't want to bully a weak woman. Then the girl speaks angrily, who are you calling a weak woman? Then Chen Fan breaks a leaf from a tree, puts his energy in it, and shoots it towards the girl like laser beam. Then both old uncle and he gets scared, and the laser beam passes by girl face and hits the tree. Then girl thinking what was. And there is a cut on his face that is bleeding, and she looks at the leaf that is buried inside the tree and able to hurt people with a flying flower or leaf. Then old uncle says, I never thought I would see such a divine technique in my remaining years. Old uncle calls the Chen Fan in front of a master. My granddaughter and I were impetuous and thinking together. I didn't expect that this boy would be an unknown master of martial arts. Then boy speaking, it is my first time to see such a skill. It was so fast that I couldn't take out my gun. Then girl says, you cut off my hair with this soft leaf and drove it into the tree. How is that possible? Then Chen Fan says, just a little QI condensation technique, not anything special. Old uncle says, it a negligible technique to you, sir, but a miraculous master skill to us. But girl thinking grandpa started calling him sir. Chen Fan tells the old uncle, you said a master can do what I did. Yes, a sublimity master is at the prime of martial arts, far beyond the limits of mortals. He can release his inner strength and can easily kill someone tens of feet away. Old uncle says, being a master yourself, sir. You don't know that. It's just common sense in the martial arts circle. Chen Fan thinking inner strength and says, I am really just a Tao cultivator, and that was nothing but a little QI condensation technique. I never heard of the things you are talking about before. Old uncle thinking Tao cultivator? He is really not a master of manifestation. Chapter 3. Old uncle thinking we need to win him over first. With his skill, he on par with a master. And moreover, my granddaughter is still unmarried. Master Mr. Chen, it doesn't matter whether you are a master or not. Judging from your accent, you are also a native of Chuzhou. Chen Fan speaking, I am from Sichuan country. I lived there for 17 years, and now I came here for school. My name is Chen Fan. You can also call me Chen Bixuan. Bixuan was the Taoist name my teacher gave me. Old uncle and girl thinking Chen Fan, Chen Bixuan of Sichuan County? Never heard of. Where is your master, Mr. Chen? Didn't he come here with you? Which star is he traveling on? Chen Fan says he is not on this planet now. Old uncle thinking. Humans are unable to defeat aging, illness, or death. My old comrades in arms, though I cultivated inner strength, I cannot reach the master level. I probably meet them soon. Then old uncle starts coughing. Then girl says, Grandpa, are you all right? Old uncle says, I am okay. It's an old ailment. Then Chen Fan says, you strained yourself trying to use inner strength, haven't you? Old uncle says, you understand medicine, Mr. Chen. How did you know about my ailment? Then girl says, my grandpa went to war when he was young, and he forced himself to use the inner strength when he had not totally mastered it to help his comrades in arms retreat. He was injured as a result. He didn't receive aid in time because it was an internal injury. He hasn't had it treated in all this time. Mr. Chen, since you're a Tao cultivator and can see his injury, do you have any way to cure him? He suffers great agony every time he has a fit. Modern medicine can hardly do anything for him. To be frank, our family has some power here in Jiangbei. We'll do anything for you if you can cure my grandpa. Chen Fan says it wouldn't be difficult for me to help. It must be fate that I met you. And they both become happy and says, really? Chen Fan says, I need to do some preparation. I go to your house to treat him in 2 days, okay? Girl says, of course. That's great. Chen Fan thinks a stoic girl like her is the most beautiful when smiling. We are then shown a scene inside the car where Chan Fun is thinking the old man waifu spoke gently, but he could not hide the air of a military man. He must have served in the army when he was young and must have been in a high position. I admired the soldiers who defend the country and protect our homes since I was a child. They practice inner strength, so they are kind of my then boy speaking, Mr. Chen. Here we are. Chen Fan says thank you. You can go back now. Pick me up at the lakeside community in the evening in 2 days. Boy says then let's exchange our phone numbers so that you can call me if you ever need me, all right? Chen Fan says okay. After this the boy goes away from there. Chen Fan says I do not know medical skills. After this the Chen Fan takes medical supplies from a shop and comes to his home and forms a formation and places the supplies on top of it. Chen Fan says but I know how to refine pills. He then tells us the name of the formation spirit condensing formation. And all the stuff starts flying in the air and the pulse starts getting refined. After this we are told the name of the pulse small spirit enhancing pill. And he successfully refines the pulse and says the spirit enhancing pill is a kind of pill that can enhance one's primordial QI. It can be called a panacea. People who are injured or weak can all take it. Chen Fan says since we have fateful Chapter 4 Yellow Hair Girl says what's the matter? Why the long face? It's my birthday. But Ran Ran says my mom is sending Chen Fan here but I don't like him. Then Yellow Hair Girl says he's the son of your mom friend. The one your mom wants you to marry. Ran Ran says yeah, it's so annoying. Then Yellow Hair Girl says what does he look like? What is his family like? Ran Ran says you little gold digger, only caring if a guy is handsome and has money. Yellow Hair Girl says why is that so bad? In this society what use is a man without a handsome face or a rich and powerful family to me? White Hair Girl says Meng Meng being petty, but if his financial condition is not good, Meng Meng is a Yellow Hair Girl name. It will be difficult and you have trouble understanding each other after you get married, even though you love each other. Then Ran Ran says I don't like him, so don't worry about that. I am in a bad mood now. Then the Chen Fan is coming. Chen Fan says Jiang Sharan is over there. Friends, Jiang Sharan is the name of a girl with white hair. Chen Fan says hello, then Yellow Hair Girl says you're Chen Fan? You want to go after our campus belle? Do you know how many admirers she has in the school? Who gave you the courage? Then Ran Ran shouts the name of the yellow-haired girl loudly, Meng Meng. Then Chen Fan says don't worry. I just came here to have dinner with her because Aunt Tang asked. I have no intent to go after her. Chen Fan, he sees the white-haired girl and thinks Yu Rongfei is the one that I have to keep an eye on. In my previous life, she died tragically. I hope I can save her in this life. Yu Rongfei is name of white-hair girl. Then white-hair girl says, why are you looking at me? Do you know me? Chen Fan says no, but I have a learned family, proficient in divination, and people say I am a great fortune teller. Though this is the first time I met you, I know you are an art student and will be admitted to Yanjing College of Film and Television in the future. White Hair Girl says, how do you know that I want to go to Yanjing College of Film and Television? Then Yellow Hair Girl says you're a celebrity at Ivy High School. Who doesn't know about you? You boy from Sishui, you can win a girl over just by talking glibly. Ran Ran thinks I thought he just liked to brag, but he was being honest after all. I didn't expect him to be so cocky. Chen Fan says believe it, or don't. White Hair Girl thinking, but I just told my mom my ideal university last night. I didn't tell anyone else. How did he know? I can't ask him more in the presence of the others. He is so odd, he seems to have a kind of strange magnetism. Then some people are shown coming there. Then Yellow Hair Girl says Yang Kao is here. Come on, let's the party begin. Yang Kao is name of red hair boy. Then Chen Fan thinking Yang Kao. He was my biggest enemy in my last life when I was in school in Chuzhou. He loved to show off in front of beautiful girls and often embarrassed me. Then Yang Kao says Meng Meng, who is this? And I am Yang Kao. My family runs a 5-star hotel. You dare to go after our campus belle Jiang. You must have an extraordinary background. And thinking some bumpkin wants to hang out with us? He'd be shocked to learn my family background. Chen Fan says our name. Yang Kao, you got some nerve. We'll see what happens with us in the same school. White Hair Girl thinking it's not good to mess with Yang Kao. There was a guy who offended. I am and Yang Kao had the whole basketball team beat him hoppy and break his leg, even dropped out of school. He smiling. What an idiot, he's totally oblivious. Then Yang Kao says we can go to karaoke and then dinner. After that we can hit the Bayar Street. No one's going home early tonight. Yellow Hair Girl says I heard there's a new karaoke bar in the new urban district. They probably end it at daybreak. No wonder Aunt Tang was worried. Let's go there. Their King's Hall is super cool. Chen Fan thinks they probably end it day break and no wonder Aunt Tang was worried. I have to go treat Wei Fefu though I don't have a lot of time. Yan Kao says oops we forgot Chen Fan, but our cars are full. How about you take a taxi there yourself? Chen Fan says in his mind, there are clearly still many vacant seats. Is obviously messing up with me. Does He really think I am afraid of a fight? Then white hair girl says Chen Fan, come and sit next to you. We can make room. Chapter 5 Ran says what are you doing? Your ladyship. Yellow hair girl says her ladyship is showing her mercy to everyone again. All right, I sit in the back. Chen Fan says in his mind she just as kind-hearted as she was in her last life. Yan Kao says good, let's go. After this his car reaches outside the bar, where he is welcomed. Yan Kao says I want your biggest and best hall. Then manager says the King Hall is occupied by a very important man for entertaining his distinguished guests. What about the Queen Hall? It's of high grade as well, I assure you. Then Yan Kao friends shout loudly and says distinguished guests. Aren't we distinguished enough for you? Give us the King's Hall. Do you really want to disappoint our brother Kao? King's Hall, King's Hall. Our brother Kao is the king. Yan Kao says all right, lead the way. Then his friend says troublemakers. Whatever hall it's fine if it's big enough. Yan Kao says come on, do me a favor, my father runs a 5-star hotel. I owe you one in the future. Then manager says well I am afraid I can't. The Queen's Hall is also very good. Then one of his friends comes forward and slaps the manager and says cut the crap. Where is your boss? Ran says in his mind why hit him. Does this really seem like the place to make trouble? And speaking forget it. Let's go somewhere else. Yellow hair girl says it's okay. The worst we can ask Ko for help. He runs a 5-star hotel and knows a lot of people. Ran says well. Then Chen Fan says Ran, Aunt Tang is waiting for you at home, let's go. Yellow hair girl says what do you mean? You're trying to take Ran away before the party even begins. Yang Kao says to Ran, you can leave if you want, but you need to let our sweet Jiang decide by herself. Ran says in his mind one side is Chen Fan, and the other is my bestie. And she's talking since you guys still want to hang out, of course I stay. And Chen Fan go home yourself and tell my mom about it. Yellow hair girl says you heard her. Chen, off you go. Then white hair girl says why are you embarrassing him like that? Then Ran says I upset Meng and Yang Kao otherwise. Chen Fan says what an ungrateful girl. Someone's coming? Let us see how you deal with it. Then some bodyguards arrive there. Who hit the lobby manager? Then yellow hair boy says I did, why? Then some bodyguards catch him and say good, come with us. Our boss wants to see you. Then the boy starts say stop. What do you want? Do you know who I am? Then Chapter 6 Yang Kao say my name is Yang Kao and my father is Yang Yifan of Tiansheng Hotel. Do me a favor. Then boss say you? Even your father would humbly call me brother Hao when he sees me. Then Yang Kao say who are you? Boss say I am Zhou Tianhao. Chen Fan says in his mind brother Hao? The big boss who has his hand reached out to both black and white, with extraordinary background and ability? Boss say you people seems to be hoity-toity, but just a 2nd or 3rd tier group in Chuzhou. Why the smugness? Then one of his bodyguards starts beating the yellow-haired boy, and say you was so great. Then yellow-hair boy says no, big brother I am sorry. Spare me please. Then bodyguard say spare you? Okay, chop your hand off, and I will spare you. Yang Kao thinking this can't end well. Though he deserves it, I have to stand up for him, or I lose my reputation. Yang Kao telling boss brother Hao, it's all our fault. I apologize. Let's not take it too far. Then boss say no problem. I dined with your father a few times. I can do him a favor. Yang Kao says excellent. Then boss say the 3 girls stay and have a drink with me. Then all 3 girls get scared. Then Yang Kao says brother Hao, she's my girlfriend. I can't just leave her, right? Then boss speaks angrily, do what I tell you to and cut the crap. That's when Yang Kao friends say we can't challenge the big boss of Chuzhou. Can we just leave now? Then the girl with bow says girls, just have a drink with brother Hao, he won't bite. Bodyguards say decide quickly. Ran thinks seems like we can't avoid a little humiliation. My father is also a respected name in Chuzhou, and he works for the government too. Zhou Tianhao won't do anything to me. I stay and let the others go. Then Chen Fan comes and stands in front of the bodyguard. Chen Fan says, Brother Hao, right? These two are my friends. Do me a favor and let them go. Ran Ran says, what are you doing? Are you out of your mind? It be settled as long as I drink with him and he gets an apology. Bose tells the Chen Fan, well, what are you doing? Asking for a favor. Then Chen Fan say, someone you cannot offend. Then boss say, I cannot offend. Is there anyone in Chuzhou that I cannot offend? Boy, because of those words, you will not be able to walk out of the door. Ranran say, no, things are getting out of control. Yellow hair girl says, Ranran, what should we do? Chen Fan will die. Boss tells the bodyguard, Biao, kick his ass. Bodyguards say, boy, you asked for it. After this, we are told about the bodyguard. Biao, the NO.1 fighter of Zhou Tianhao, gotten out of a military prison by Zhou short-tempered and sentenced to prison for badly injuring his trainer in the army. He has greatly contributed to the achievements of Zhou Tianhao over the past 10 years. Then the bodyguard takes a powerful step and starts punching the Chen Fan. Ranran says, watch out. Chen Fan says, don't worry. He is nothing to me. Then Chen Fan stops his punch with just one hand. Then bodyguards say, my punch can break a hole through a wooden door. How can you stop it? He thinks it even hurt. He practices kung fu? No wonder he was so bold. Then he says, interesting. Come on, boy, let's take it seriously now. Then the bodyguard starts attacking the Chen Fan continuously, and the Chen Fan say, I had no quarrel with you, yet you're so brutal? Don't blame me for getting ruthlessness. Then Chen Fan attacks him. Chapter 7. Chen Fan kicks the bodyguard, leaving him in a critical condition and bleeding from his mouth. Boss and the others are shocked to see this. Seeing this, Bose gets surprised and says, everybody, go, get him. All of Boss's bodyguards attack the Chen Fan. Then the Chen Fan and his fight begins. After this, we are shown a scene after some time where the Chen Fan is standing safe and sound and all the bodyguards are lying on the ground and shouting. Then Yellow hair girl says, what is this? A TV drama. After this, Chen Fan goes and sits in front of Boss and says, Zhou Tianhao, now what do you think of me? Then Boss, thinking this boy can beat a dozen of my best men. I've been in Chuzhou for more than 10 years, but skills like that are rare. And says, boy, you got some skill. But how would you fare against a gun? It's modern society now. Excellent kung fu skills are not so intimidating. I can get you thrown in jail with a single phone call. Chen Fan thinks threatening me? Then I have to do a magic technique and kill you quietly. But first let them leave. I will stay and play with you. Then Boss say, deal. I can't wait to watch you squirm. Then they all start running away from there and say, we can leave now. Let's go. Ranran says to the white-haired girl, hurry up, your ladyship. Then white-haired girl says, but Chen Fan. Ranran think no wonder he was so audacious. Still, not everything can be settled by fighting. The Chen Fan speaks his mind. It's all right now that Jiang Chiran and Ji Rongfei left. Now let me use a magic technique and kill the rest. Then the Chen Fan phone starts ringing. Chen Fan says, Xiao Qiao Qi. Friend Xiao Qi is old uncle bodyguard name, okay. Xiao Qi says, hello, Mr. Chen. This is Xiao Qi. I am at the gate of the lakeside community now. Chen Fan says, hello, Xiao Qi. I am not there. I am in the new city district, having a little trouble. Xiao Qi says, trouble. Can you tell me what happened? Honestly, though I am just a bodyguard of Mr. Wei, I can handle some minor issues in Chuzhou. It's nothing. My friends just had a quarrel with someone called Brother Hao. Brother Hao? Zhou Tianhao? Yes, you know him. Royal Entertainment Karaoke? I be there in 10 minutes. Please tell Zhou Tianhao to wait for me. Chen Fan thinks it seems he knows Zhou Tianhao. Do they even have an unusual relationship? So what now? Kill them or wait for Xiao Qi? Boss say, what? Are you calling for help? Go on, call anyone you can get. Boss girlfriend says, everyone knows who you are who would dare come. Then Fan says, well, my friend said that he'd be here in 10 minutes and asked you to wait until then. Then boss say, fine, I wait. 10 minutes, I wonder who on earth in Chuzhou is not afraid of death. Then boss bodyguard's voice starts coming from outside. He is saying, please don't break in. Then the Yashao Q breaks the gate and comes inside boss, is surprised to see the Yashao Qi and says, Brother Qi, why are you here? Chapter 8 Xiao Qi says, Mr. Chen, are you okay? Did they hurt you? Then Chen Fan say, how could they hurt me? Then Xiao Qi say, right, 10 times more of them are no match for you with you skills. I overthought it. And Xiao Qi shout loudly the boss and say, Zhu Tianhao, what gives you the nerve to hurt Mr. Wei friend? Then boss say, this boy is Mr. Wei friend. Xiao Qi say, Mr. Wei himself sent me to pick up Mr. Chen for dinner with his social car. Why do you think I am lying? Boss say to Xiao Qi, no. No, the special car from the government. The bodyguard came to pick him up. I am doomed. Bose calls him a Chen Fan. I did not know you were Mr. Wei guest. I should not have treated you that way. Red hair girl says, I was just thinking that Zhou Tianhao had a backer, but it was the backer who came. This boy is Mr. Wei friend? Xiao Qi says, Mr. Chen, how do you think we should solve this problem? Chen Fan says, spare him for Xiao Qi's sake. It does not matter to me anyway. Since you know him, just forget it. Chen Fan tell the boss, Brother Hao, let's stop this tonight. If you are not satisfied with that, I am always ready for a fight. Then boss say, no, no. Xiao Qi says, after you, Mr. Chen. Boss, say I am doomed today. After this, the Xiao Qi brings Chen Fan to one place, then Chen Fan says, Jiangbei Military Sanatorium. This Weibo is really something. Xiao Qi say, sir, Mr. Chen is here, come in. Then Chen Fan and the Xiao Qi enter the room where old uncle is already standing with the girl. Then girl says, are not you going to treat my grandpa? Why did not you bring any medical supplies? Chen Fan tells the old uncle, my treatment does not use acupuncture or manipulation therapy. Look at this first. Old uncle says, what is it? Old uncle gets surprised after reading the medicine and say this. Then girl says, what is it? Grandpa? Old uncle says, thank you for your great kindness, sir. I will never forget it. Chen Fan says, do not mention it. You got the injury defending our country. I cannot turn a blind eye to it now that I met you. Then girl says, Grandpa, why did you suddenly give him such a salute without a reason? Old uncle says, please explain it to Ziking, Mr. Chen. Chen Fan says, your grandpa injury consists of two parts. One is that he forced himself to use inner strength. He got injured and has not been treated, so his injury in his lungs cannot be healed. The other is that there is a problem with the inner strength arts he practiced, which hurt his lungs. The slight injury, every time he circulated it, accumulated into a big one eventually. Then girl says, so, there's something wrong with my lungs too. Chen Fan says, theoretically, but your cultivation is too shallow to reach such degree. Girl says, I have to thank my shallow cultivation? Thank you very much. Old uncle says, when I first learned it from my family elders, they indeed mentioned this problem. But it was a great luck to have any inner strength arts to practice who cared if it would injure my lungs or not. Old uncle tells the girl, if you had not wanted to learn it so badly, I did have taken the secrets of this defective art to my grave. However, Mr. Chen give me this booklet, which contains the revision of the defect, even many levels higher. Then girl says, I do not remember you teaching him our family arts. How did he figure out how to revise it? Old uncle says, that's what is great about the master of martial arts. He just had a look at me. Chapter 9. Chen Fan says, I see. And old uncle thinking I do not know very much? After all, for me, practicing martial arts is just a family inheritance and an interest. The inheritance of martial arts has a long history. Legend has it that originally it was a QI refining technology, which later was uprated and defensed into all kinds of different inner strength arts and attacks and defense arts. The last most prosperous time for the martial arts realm was the end of the Ming dynasty and the beginning of the Qing dynasty, when experts and masters came forth in large numbers. Eight guns and cannons rose and martial arts began to fall. Now master-level martial artists have become rare. There are 3 stages for martial artists: outer strength, inner strength, and sublimity. Most of the practitioners now are in the first stage, very few are in the second. As for the sublimity master with Gang QI protection that can defend against firearms, apart from you, I just seen one. And Chen Fan thinking it said that there is another level above the sublimity, but no one has ever seen it. None of this has anything to do with me though. This key he gave me, however, is rather nice. Of course I deserve this gift. This is the confidence of a retribution enduring immortal sovereign. Pink hair girl says, Grandpa, that's the key of the top-level house of the Yunwu Villa. It was a present from the richest man of Chuzhou to third uncle, and he gave it to you. He did heal your injury, but is it really necessary to give him such an expensive house? Old uncle says, you don't understand. The revised arts alone are priceless. Pink hair girl says, I see. Old uncle says, moreover, you have no idea what it is to be a master of martial arts. Pink hair girl says, master of martial arts. So what? Can he resist bullets, cannons, or even missiles? Old uncle says, it's not as simple as you think. Chen Fan is on par with the military legend Yi Nanqian, even though he is so young. We want to keep him on our side. Pink hair girl says, I see. This Chen Fan is destined to be extraordinary. Then bodyguard says, Chen Fan, according to your arrangement, we are not going to the Yunwu Villa. Now we are at the lakeside community. Then Chen Fan says, good. My phone rings? Hello? Chen Fan. Ran, you all right? I want to invite you out for dinner. Oh, Zhang Yumeng and Xu Rongfei will come too. Chen Fan says, I am all right. Don't bother. Bye. Ran says he hung up on me. What a show-off. He is stuck up after all. But he was kind of charming when fighting all those guys. He was quite heroic. 3 peaceful days later. Chen Fan says, phew. After a few days of closed-door cultivation, IV reached the peak of the initial stage of foundation establishment, just a step away from the middle stage, but I have to go to school for registration, for my mom's sake. International High School, private exclusive school, is equipped with top hardware facilities, faculty, and enjoys a great reputation as well. Students here either have excellent grades or have a super rich family. It is shown inside Chen Fan's class, where all the students are talking amongst themselves. Blue hair boys say to Chen Fan, you looking for someone? It's you. I was expecting a beautiful girl. Your seat is next to me. Teacher come and says we have a transfer student today. Chen Fan, introduce yourself. He says, hello everyone, I am Chen Fan. Chapter 10 class students are saying about Chen Fan he is ordinary, plain looking, poor and powerless, boring, not worth knowing. Blue hair boy says, Chen Fan, your self-introduction was too simple. How can you attract girls if you don't put any effort in? Never mind. My name is Jiang Tangqiu. I am nicknamed Nightclub Prince. There isn't a nightclub in Chuzhou that I don't know. Chen Fan says, I know your name. Blue hair boy, thinking it seems that my reputation precedes me, and says, listen to me. Chen Fan thinks you were not only my desk mate, but also my best buddy last life. When I was down and out, only you were there for me. You stabbed someone for a girl and were put in prison for 7 years, ruining your whole life. The two of us could only drink away our sorrows. Chen Fan friend says if I could live again, I would never ruin my life for that bitch. Chen Fan thinks in this new life I will try my hardest to protect my friends. Blue hair boy says, why don't you speak? Sen Fan says, I am listening. Blue hair boy says, all right. I have to show you my real ability. The girls of our class are all not bad, but the prettiest of all is our monitor, Chang Wen. She will be the host of the campus evening. Only Zhu Rongfei and Jiang Churan, the 2 accepted campus belles, are slightly prettier than her. Xu, needless to say, is already a minor celebrity as a model, and even acted as a supporting role in a TV series. It's said she can afford a BMW with the money she makes in a year, outstripping 99% of the students in China. Chen Fan thinks if I told you she nearly became my lover in my past life, I wonder how you would react. Blue hair boy says, but don't even think about Gao Wen. She doesn't even want me, let alone you. Chen Fan says in his mind you haven't changed at all, still full of hot air. Blue hair boy says in his mind it's Yingxia she fancies. But that fellow is too proud to look at her. Blue hair boy says, look, that Yingxia. Chen Fan says, well, he is our head teacher's favorite student. He once won a prize in a national Olympic math competition and was recommended for admission to Waking and Yanjing universities. He is now a treasure to the whole school. The class teacher says, Sai Yingxia, come on in. Then class students are saying Sai Yingxia. More handsome than all the Korean idols, handsome even when he is late for class. Blue hair boy says he is also a forward for the school basketball team. The cheerleaders of our school are all pretty girls who all love him and Yang Kao. But he fancies campus belle Xu. I don't stand a chance. Chen Fan says, really? Blue hair boy says, what do you think of Sai Yingxia? Chen Fan says, I really don't see anything special about him. In the last life, CI was definitely the most enviable person to all the boys of the school, even me. In this life, in my eyes, he's far less important than Jiang Tangqiu. Blue Hair Boy says TSK Yuri conceded. I don't quite like him either, but he is really awesome. Then class over class monitor girl says the school basketball team will have a training game during the lunch break. Jiang Tangqiu and Chen Fan. Jiang Tangqiu is Blue Hair Boy name, and then she says you two go and help carry the drinks. Jiang Tangqiu says TSK you want to show yourself in front of Sai Yingxia, but order about us like dogs. Student are cheering Yang Kao. Yang Kao. Yang Kao. Xia. Jiang Tangqiu says so crazy? Of course I am annoyed when I am compared with others. He even ignores Cheng Wen. You see the tall one? His Yang Kao, team leader, awesome. His father is the CEO of the Tiansheng Hotel. Someone offended him once, and he led the whole team to beat him and broke his leg. The school let it pass. If only we could be as prestigious as him one day. Monitor girl says, what are you waiting for? Hand out drinks to the other players. Chen Fan throw the bottle to Yang Kao. Yang Kao says Chen Fan. Chen Fan says long time no see. Chapter 11 Yang Kao says yes, it's been quite a few days. Ci Yingxia says is not that Jiang Tangqiu and the transfer student? Monitor girl says you know him? His name is Chen Fan, the new kid from our class. He's a poor loser, you can order him about as you like. Yang Kao see Chen Fan face and Chen Fan says Cheng Wen. Then monitor girl says the school team has a match tonight. Go and carry things for the team. Chen Fan says I am not going. Monitor girl says what did you say? You are not going. Chen Fan say I went to help last time, considering that we were classmates. In return you sneered at me. Do you really think I did not hear you? Right. That's the school team's match, so ask the sports department to do it. What does it have to do with me? Monitor girl says you're really not going. Chen Fan says no. Monitor girl thinking I have a rich family and am the monitor. I am superior to you like a princess. Only boys as excellent as Sai Yingxia can make me slightly lower my head. A plain and unimpressive transfer student like yourself dares to turn me down. And says do you think the match is not important at all? And he just ignore him. Then one student says you dare to disrespect the school team? Chen Fan says you are Ji Xingyu, the sports commissary? A substitute of the school team? Then student are very angry, and then Jiang Tangqiu says brother you, come on, he's a newcomer and knows nothing. Do not be so serious. It's just carrying things, we can do it together, all right? The boy says I cannot wait to wipe that smug look off your face. You got some nerve, last one we had like you got his leg broke. Chen Fan says go yourself if you want, I am not going anyway. Anytime. Then some student says the members of the school team are all tall and strong. They made it to the final 8th in the Jiangnan Province High School League last year, winning honor for our school. So they swagger around in the school, and almost no one dares to offend them. Someone once pissed Yang Kao off. He led the team to break the dude leg and Ji Xingyu was among them. The transfer student unexpectedly has a temper. So what? That's what we call overconfidence. Exactly. Did not he consider his own ability before challenging Ji Xingyu and Monitor Chang? Then class teacher are coming and says there is taekwondo class this afternoon. If you want to take part, hand in clothing fee and lessons fee if you are going. If not, you are dismissed and free to leave. Chen Fan says boring, I am going home. Ji Xingyu is brown hair boy name. He says hey, do not leave dude. Why, not even attending the taekwondo class? Chen Fan says is none of your business. Ji Xingyu says you do not have the money? Tell me I can pay for you. Monitor Chang says if you do not participate in class activities, do not blame me for telling Mrs. Zhu. That will influence your term assessment. Chen Fan says fine, I am going. Then writer says the taekwondo gym was very gorgeously built. It's about the same size as the basketball gym. This taekwondo class is a big class, not only class 9 of the 3rd year, but also many other classes from all the grades attend this class. Jiang Tangqiu says the taekwondo the coach has at our school won the 2nd, is very famous. Place prize of a national game, he is very competent. Well, Ji Xingyu dragged you to this class, probably in order to embarrass you in class. Ignore him for God's sake. Chen Fan says thank you. Then Taekwondo Sir is coming and say everybody warm up first, and then practice against each other. Yingxia, you demonstrate it first. Jiang Tangqiu says Sai Yingxia is a red belt, second only to black belt, representing danger and attack. One cannot reach such level without years of practice. Sir says Ji Jingyu versus Sai Yingxia. Then Sai Yingxia attack the Ji Jingyu. Coach says now, according the arranged pairs, practice with each other. Jai Xingyu says coach, before that, I did like to challenge someone. Chen, were not you quite smug at lunch break? Do you have the nerve to play with me? Students are saying, why is he challenging a white belt? Exactly, a blue belt versus a white belt. Is not it too easy for him? Or did the transfer student piss him off? Coach says, you sure you want to challenge this white belt? Due to the huge gap between your levels, you have the right to refuse. Ji Xingyu boy, you were so smug at noon, weren't you? What now? Lost your nerve? Chen Fan says I cannot do Taekwondo.